Welcome to the Uproot Project podcast, where we dig deep to uncover and dismantle toxic beliefs about God, ourselves, and each other. Our goal is to replant new insights in the fertile soil of wisdom and love, fostering personal growth and transformation. Join us as we explore new ways of thinking and living in a world of complexity and diversity. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Christian, pronouns she, her.
My name is Chris, he, him.
My name is Whitney, pronouns she, her, and I feel fucking good.
It's a good day in the neighborhood.
And I know that's not a pronoun, but call me that and I'll answer.
Yep.
Be like, I feel fucking good. I'll be like, yes.
I love
It
that for you. All right, I feel fucking good.
Yeah.
Get us into our moment.
Yeah, so before we kick off, we're going to do our regular mindfulness moment. So as usual, this is for the girlies who are somewhere stationary. If you are driving, please do not close your eyes. As wide open, beloveds. But, if you can, also, I would rather you keep your mind focused on the road. Maybe you revisit this once you get somewhere parked. But also, if you ain't pulled out yet, girl, just sit with us for a second before you hit that reverse.
Yeah,
If you late, you're going to be late.
Yeah,
ain't it? Bring some donuts or something.
that is conflicting for me as a person that used to race time and always would make it up. I don't know if I'm late, if I'm always going to be late. I'd be late and then but I also set out early because I got ADHD, so I got cushion. Anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So for those of us who are able to, I want you all to either close your eyes or lower your gaze and just feel comfortable in your seat. Get grounded. Feel your feet on the floor or tucked under your legs, wherever you are. And take a deep breath in together and let it out slowly through the mouth. Do that again. And let it out slowly through your mouth. And now I want you to picture yourself in front of a mirror. Not the kind of mirror that reflects how the world sees you, but the one that will reveal your truest self. The you that sits beneath the expectations, underneath the filters, and beneath the need to perform. And as you stand before this mirror, ask yourself, what parts of me feel hidden? What masks do I wear to fit in, to feel safe, to be accepted? And just sit with that question. Let the answer come. On the next inhale, I want you to imagine gently peeling away one of these masks. Don't judge it. Just see what sits underneath. Breathe in your truth. And then breathe out the pressure to be anything else. You are enough just as you are. You are worthy just as you are. Your purpose here is not to heal, but to be. And as you return to this present moment, I want you to let this truth settle in your body. Carry it with you today. And we're going to seal in this practice with one more collective breath in, and I want you to sigh it out this time. So everybody, deep inhale to seal it in. And on this exhale, let go everything that is misaligned with that. All right, let's get started.
Way to go.
I am enough. I'm holding
We
that.
are all enough.
I am holding that.
I
Well,
am.
today, are you enough?
I am enough.
You are enough. I knew you were going to do it. I knew.
Enough.
You didn't see the Barbie movie?
I did. Oh.
He is enough. So today we are going to be talking about authenticity in a filtered world and how societal expectations and social media encourage us to hide ourselves or to mask. Social media. Social media. So let's talk about masking.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's talk about masking. So we have, obviously when you're talking about people who are neurodivergent, there's the concept of masking. But I don't think it's controversial to say that there are types of masking that all of us engage in, whether we're neurodivergent or diagnosed as neurodivergent or not.
Well, and you often see it So I was prepared today. I brought a definition.
Here we go.
Masking refers to the conscious or unconscious suppression or alterations of one's natural behaviors, emotions, or traits to conform to societal expectations or avoid negative consequences, which I think speaks to what you were saying, that we all do it. It is often associated with neurodivergent individuals, such as those of us with autism or ADHD, who may mask traits to blend in with you neurotypical people and environments. But it can also occur in other contexts, such as individuals hiding symptoms of mental illness, code switching in marginalized communities,
first thing I thought of,
or suppressing emotions in professional or social settings. And so while it can help with social acceptance, it can also lead to exhaustion, identity confusion, and mental health struggle.
Yes. All of that shit.
Say la.
Yeah.
Because everybody need to take a little breath again. We started with breathing, but then we started singing. We might need to breathe again.
Yeah. And what's interesting to me is that now imagine having intersectionality.
Oh, girl.
Oh.
I mean, as you were going down that list, I was like, okay, so code switching, like, because we're all Black. So code switching is life. What it was.
I was like, yeah, we are Black people who grew up under the protective concept of respectability policy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a need to present yourself in a very specific way.
Yes.
Around certain types of authority, which I mean, a lot of us still do. Like if I run into a cop, I'm aware that I am in more danger than a white person.
Right. We're going P's and Q's.
We're going all the way P's and Q's. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. I'm doing it all.
Right.
We're trying to get home.
I want to be alive.
We're trying to get home.
My voice is a couple of octaves lighter.
Yeah.
Hell, mine too. Dead ass.
You gonna rate? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not
well, now I ain't.
No, I'm not Sambo.
Yeah, I ain't got no cabin.
To raise the octave of my voice and not to make it sound like that. I mean, that's the point. It's like it went a little farther than I intended.
I absolutely go into my presenter voice, which is it's way up here.
Oh yeah, see, that's what I was trying to do,
but it's way up here because this sound actually carries faster, like it carries farther, and people are listening when you have a more energetic voice. Whereas, like my natural voice is down here, and I realize I'm a scruffy voiced ass little child, and this is just who I am.
So you got that, and then you're gonna add. Again, we all grew up in a Christian context, so there were lots of things, and then that we weren't allowed to enjoy, do, be, or were discouraged from enjoying, doing, being in that church context as people. And then you add the extra layer of being like, for myself and Whitney, of being women in that context. So there's even more stuff. Hold on. And then
my bad, I jumped. My bad.
And then you add being queer or trying not to be queer. That one's for me. And then and
I'm big body.
And then
I've been 6 feet tall.
Right.
Since
I
forever.
was
5'11" and a half in the 8th grade, y'all.
And I told, I don't remember who.
Which matters when you're a Black woman.
It does.
It matters for your femininity. It matters for all the shits.
It's for your safety. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then was it you I was telling that it took me years to unlearn the habit of sucking in my stomach?
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Right. And so like the ways that we try to
core strength should be on point at this point, y'all.
I mean, you would think.
Muscle memory should be doing something.
You would think.
I mean, I'm decent at Pilates.
No,
fresh out the gate.
I need to go to Pilates.
I'm not interested in Pilates.
I love a Pilates.
Bless you.
Pilates will work wonders for you, man.
You used to love Pilates. What happened?
Was it HIIT?
Was it sciatica?
HIIT.
Oh, wait.
Pilates.
What? No,
high intensity interval. When I met her, she was doing high intensity interval.
So he's right about a different time period.
Oh, okay.
Y'all were talking about different time
absolutely.
Periods. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
you're new here, Chris.
Newer than you.
You're new here.
Everybody's new compared to you.
You're new here. I'm going to be saying that for the rest of our lives. Christopher, you're new here.
All right.
We'll be 80, and you're new here.
You're new here.
Know this man since I was 18.
Doesn't matter. He's new here because I've known you since you were 0.
Probably.
Fair enough.
But why were we talking about HIIT? HIIT Pilates doesn't matter.
Yeah, Pilates.
I stopped enjoying Pilates because my back was having issues.
That's because your core wasn't working.
Well, but see, I was doing Pilates. I was having like I've always had, y'all, I got so many body issues. We could talk about me masking all of my body issues.
No,
later.
that we could.
Like if you talking about, like, I don't have, for the most part, a visible disability, but I absolutely have one. I'm used to the technical term, not to be weird, but so that you understand. I have patellofemoral arthritis, which means that my kneecap is fucked.
And has been.
I dislocated my knee for the first time at 12 and did it regularly up until I was in college. And the only reason it really stopped is because now I am hypervigilant about not allowing it to happen.
Yeah.
But there are times when I have flare-ups and I need a cane. And I would rather stay home than try to walk around with a cane because I don't want people thinking stuff. And like, I don't have
internalized ableism.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Because like I don't have a disability placard because most of the time I don't need a walking assistant. But like if I needed to go to the store, I need to be at the fucking front. I can barely function. Yeah. But if, people see you walking, and then if I come back to the store in 2 days and I'm fine, you look.
Man, fuck them people.
Oh, and I feel that way about going to disabled bathrooms because I really need the toilet to be higher.
Yeah, no,
me and my knees,
same actually. Just because I'm
me and my knees, y'all.
Your knees did bring me to you, so there's that.
They did. Oh, that's kind of
in the most wholesome way.
Yes.
Well, God damn it, Christopher.
You ruined everything. No, that's not true.
No, you didn't.
But we actually had.
No, that's real though.
Okay, I'm going to tell this story as quickly as possible because this has come up 3 times already and I still haven't told this story. So Chris and I met in college. We were in a gospel choir together. And we were loosely friends. We both were from Houston, but we went to college in a different town together. And so at the end of my second semester of freshman year, I dislocated my knee walking down some stairs in a classroom. I had to go to the hospital, whole 9, but it was like right before finals. So I was like, I just want to finish finals. I'll deal with my surgery later. And so I got moved. I was living on the 4th floor. They found a way to get me down to the 1st floor, but obviously I couldn't really go nowhere. This is not a disability, like, mobility friendly.
It's not accessible.
It is not an accessible campus.
Yeah.
At least
it's a very old building in particular.
And where the side of campus that I lived on, lots of cobblestones and shit. If it rains, if it drizzles, everything's slippery as fuck. So I was living in my room eating, macaroni and cheese out of those little mac and cheese cups.
Is it Easy Mac?
Easy Mac.
Yeah.
But in the cups, right? Oatmeal, peanut butter, and jelly. Anything that was like frozen.
Dorm room approved.
Ramen that I cooked in the microwave.
Yeah.
So that's what I was eating. And so I'm going back and forth with Chris. I'm pretty sure we were on AIM because that's where conversations occurred back then. 2005 or 2006 rather. And I'm talking and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, just sitting here bored. Because at the time, the roommate I had, she had gone home. It was the weekend. And I was like, yeah, I'm sitting here bored. I'm hungry, but I don't want any more macaroni and cheese. And he was like, oh, what do you want? And I was like, man, I don't even remember what he brought me. It was either a burger or a chicken sandwich because we had Chick-fil-A on campus at the time. I don't even know if they still had that. But he was like, oh, I can bring it. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. Now we were loosely connected friends, right? We saw each other on campus sometimes, and we saw each other at choir practice. And he was like, yeah, I can bring it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I knew it was like rainy, but I couldn't tell how much it was raining. I wasn't really paying attention. So maybe 30, 40 minutes later, because he lived on the opposite side of campus, which is like normally 10, 15-minute walk.
Yeah.
Right, crazy.
Yeah.
But
it's a big campus.
It's a big campus.
Last I checked, it was 30 minutes.
Was it 30? It was
probably getting to Savisa.
30-minute walk?
Yeah.
I was like, UT's bigger than A&M, and it's not a 30-minute walk.
It was raining. You got to slow down when it's raining at A&M. Because
it's slick.
Because of the cobblestones.
Yep. So which is true at most PWI universities in Texas. Because for some reason they all got.
You know how we all are. We were all wearing fucking flip flops. So it was like you were trying.
Old Navy flip flops.
Old Navy flip flops.
Just to be clear, children.
So many Old Navy flip flops.
These were fashion.
Were they?
Every color.
We all wore them.
We coordinated these shit.
We all did. And then they made the new ones that were made out of that shitty ass foam.
Yeah.
They were terrible. The old ones, the originals, were the best.
That's true.
And they came out with them secondary ones. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Just stop it. Anyway, back to
Conserving cost, making profits.
yeah, that's what they did. And we bought a couple and then I stopped because I was like, yeah, they don't hit like they used to. They don't wear in like they used to.
We used to wear holes in the bottom of them shits.
You couldn't do that anymore because
the things will come
break.
out.
The
like the
Right.
thong
thing
part of
goes,
the
yeah, that
sandal.
goes in between your toes.
Yeah.
I digress. So
You
he
sound 80. Get the thing and the thong and it would just pop off and they don't make it like they used to.
That's what I just saw a post and they were saying like, what's your millennial complaint? That's my millennial complaint. They changed the Old Navy flip flops.
So many and that's not one.
I mean, I don't care anymore.
I can't remember the last time I put on a flip flop.
As a young person, this was important. To
Yes.
me because they were cheap and they were comfy.
$3.
They were cheap and comfy.
If you caught them on the sale, $1.
I ain't never caught no $1. I usually pay $3
I
or
think it was the
$5.
July 4th sale.
You know. So anyway, Chris brings me my food, but when he gets to my door, he is drenched. I mean, dripping. Okay, like literal puddles onto my floor, and I'm like, oh my God. Why did you come now? I thought you were going to wait till it like slowed down or stopped raining. He said you were hungry. So he comes in, he brings me the food, and I'm like, this is the sweetest thing anybody's ever done to me. And we are literally just friends.
Yeah, it was just friends.
Without umbrellas.
Chris still
I don't believe in umbrellas.
still don't
I
really
tried
like
to.
umbrellas.
But it's
He's
just
like,
That's why your ass was soaking wet putting
It was.
on the goddamn floor.
too,
And now you're pushing 40, still putting puddles on the floor.
No, he does. He doesn't come in soaking wet anymore because he has umbrellas because he has a wife and child, and our asses don't like to be wet.
yeah.
Turns out you don't want to be sick. I love that.
Mhm.
You know, thoughts. Anyway, so he comes
I've
in
never
my
been
room.
sick from being in the rain, so it's that.
Okay.
He didn't get sick.
Must be nice.
So he comes in and he's like, okay, I guess I'll leave now. And I was like, absolutely not. It's still pouring. So at that point, I could hear the rain. It had gotten so loud. And I'm like, you are literally dripping. Come in. And he's like, where can I sit? And I was like, we're not sitting anywhere in that. And so I was like, maybe you can fit some of my jeans. Because back then, sweatpants were not a thing for me.
Yeah.
I didn't have any. To this day, I think I have like 3 pair and they still don't look like normal people's sweatpants. And so I found a pair of jeans that were like,
alien sweat.
that were my quote unquote, I was like, these should fit. Cause I'm like, he wasn't big, but I have a huge butt. So my pants were bought to accommodate that, which was a struggle in the low rise 2005s. Okay.
Ciao.
Oh. Chris ain't got no booty though. And so
Damn, you had to put them on blast like
no, because it's
Yeah,
important to the
fine.
story. So he gets so I find this pair of jeans that I'm like, I think are the straightest cut because I had a lot of boot cut jeans. And I was like, that's gonna be weird. So it's like I gave him the straightest cut jeans I had. He put them on. He's like, wow, these are huge. And I was like, nigga.
Shut.
He was like,
Did I say these are huge or they'll at least fit me just fine? I don't have
you
any
did
problem.
not say that.
Okay.
You did not say that.
That's the person who remembers the trauma.
He doesn't even remember this happening. That's why I'm telling you.
I remember this happening because
I
I
told you.
recounted to me.
Yeah, see?
I told you.
Yeah.
Damn, you were there, my nigga.
And he doesn't remember it.
Crazy.
And I've told him
The act of love.
I know, right? And so
Yeah, I was like, this
Service.
he puts on the jeans and he's like, well, I guess I'll go. And I gave him one of my shirts because, you get a million free t-shirts in college. So I had some shirts that would fit him. And so he just hangs out until it stops raining, right? And then later, fast forward to after I have my surgery in the summer, he's like, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm all right, recovering. He was like, hey, I wanted to bring you these jeans back. And so he brings the jeans to my parents' house because that's where I'm recovering. And my mom never forgot that. She learned 4 things about him when he brought those jeans. And when we reconnected later, she was like, the one that lives in Cashmere Gardens with his grandma that brought you back those jeans after he had surgery. And I'm like, yeah.
But that's your mother, though.
Yeah.
It's very typical your mom.
Anyway, so this is how my shitty knees brought us together.
Knees will keep us together.
But, like you said.
Whatever. So back to the mask.
And then she put masking tape on her knee to hold it in place.
I mean,
God, though.
that's kind of what knee tape is.
basically.
Basically. It has happened. You're not, they have.
I've been here. I'm not new here. I was there when we dislocated that hoe at 12. We was at the playground.
We were at the playground.
With Sister Dixon.
With the Dixons.
All of them.
During that, what were we doing?
It's like a home Bible study situation.
Yeah,
no, I don't know.
It was home Bible study.
It was, but I don't know if it was that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a note about authenticity. when you're authentic, you don't always have to remember what you've done.
That's
Look at
real.
that.
That's real.
There was no
Yes.
man.
Listen.
My husband is neurodivergent, but that was his kindness. He doesn't know how to mask that.
Mm-mm.
He can't.
Because it's real to him.
It is so real, and
Yeah.
he cannot process why anybody would not do a thing. Like when he came to me in the rain, I was like, I thought you would have waited. He was like, you were hungry. And I was like, but it's pouring. And he's like, but you were hungry.
Hungry hurts.
And I told you I was coming. So I came.
So I gave.
Yeah. I'm a man of integrity.
I mean, the rain is an inconvenience, but it'll be all right.
But you know what's worse? Hunger.
Right. Dying of hunger in your room.
Okay,
So
she's
you can't go nowhere.
I had,
But I'm
but again,
Damn.
as we discussed last week, Whitney and Chris have a very different relationship to like having the type of food you want to eat available than I do. Because I would have sucked it up and ate another peanut butter sandwich.
True. I would have not eaten.
You would have
for days.
sat there until you got something you wanted.
Food aversion.
and I'm like, no, I know how it feels when I'm hungry. And I don't like that.
Well, I was about to say, I think it's also more severe. So this is fun context. Christian, as a youth, used to like have hunger meltdowns,
I did.
right? Like
did.
over fresh hunger. Christian would be freshly hungry and now her whole attitude has changed. The vibe is off, right?
Right.
As a neurodivergent person, like when I finally, and I think this is true of you too, tell me if it's not, but when I finally realize I'm hungry, I've been hungry for so long that it is now a problem. Like I don't have enough fuel. And even then I don't melt down. I just be like, I feel sick.
Yeah, I'm shaking.
Yes,
Like,
it's literally like I'm shaking. Like,
and
I
I
have to
noticed my
assess,
mood
why
change.
am I shaking?
Right, and I noticed my mood change, so I overcorrect and like shut down, and not interact at all.
Right,
I'm very pissed.
Oh, see, I don't have the mood.
And I'm like, but I don't want to explode on nobody.
Yeah,
so it's very much okay. Hold on, I see where this is going, and I see what the outcome of it is. So let me just. Dial back and fall in the background.
This actually happened when we were recording our last episode.
He got so hungry at the end.
In the last episode, he got quiet because that baby was
so hungry. Literally, we were at the end, and like, so Chris is also like our producer, and he was trying to like do all the things, and I was like, just leave, go eat. It'll be fine. Like, because we record here at my house, and so I'm just like, it will be fine. Leave your shit. Go. Now,
right, go eat.
Because we knows,
don't walk.
Right. I was just like,
But, I mean, so we have given you so many types of masking.
We really have
about a lot, but the point was that when we are doing all these types of contortions to ourselves to present ourselves in a specific way for whatever reason, what kinds of effects does this have on us?
Man, hold up.
It's a good meal, that's for damn sure.
You say it's a good meal.
You miss a good meal.
Oh, miss a good meal.
No, but dead ass.
Right.
Like, so it's really interesting. So I # late stage diagnosed ADHD, right? And so I think there were so many ways in which, like, here's the thing. I think the people who know me would all agree that like there's a consensus, right? Like that, this is how Whitney is. And that is not necessarily a false self, right? It is for me when I was upholding that self, when that self wasn't true in the moment, right? And so like, yes, I am crazy. I'm going to say the most off the wall things. I also might say something really prolific and profound and be like, what the fuck did I say? That is very Whitney, very quintessential.
Right.
But, or like, I am pretty like happy-go-lucky in general, but I also let an injustice happen and I'm ready to flip tables. Like literally flip a table. I'm ready to go off behind injustice, right? But there are these moments in which, like, especially I think for me in work environments, particularly work environments where the people at the helm were not, how does one say this nicely or accurately? People at the helm were still functioning very much within the constructs of white supremacy. So regardless of their racial identification, like this is how we do the thing, right? And not only white supremacy, but also like neurotypicalness, right? Like there's this capitalistic idea that like you should be hyper productive and all of these things, right?
Right.
And so I spent a lot of my life, my youth, I actually was really hyper productive.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I'm still pretty fucking productive, but
in a way that like you weren't doing it to make me feel bad about myself, but I would be like, damn, Whitney doing, I could do some more. Like,
please don't. Because eventually I got very tired. Like I burned out really early on. Yeah. I've burned out a couple of times because masking is also exhausting.
There we go.
And so like I remember my first burnout. I think I had my first burnout. How old was I? I wasn't even married yet. So I got married at 25. So I burned out the first time, I think, at 24 and had to career change then. So my first career, like, that's early.
Quarter life for real.
Hell yeah. And it was bad, like to the point where like I had chronic fatigue syndrome and couldn't, like I had to leave my job because I couldn't get out of my bed.
Wow.
Do you remember this? I remember you coming to like stay with me a week in my apartment and like us just sitting on the couch every morning saying nothing. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. Because like I just did it. I didn't have it. I didn't have the words. I felt horrible because I was such an Energizer bunny. Yeah. And to like go from that to
0 to 60.
Yeah.
60 to 0.
60 to 0, right? Yeah. In addition to that, like I grew up with like high functioning depression. And like it's crazy the amount of people, because I've like since told the story. Now my last bout of depression, I had terrible depression. So my last bout of depression was it's been well over 10 years because I learned some things in that one that I was like, oh, I get it. Like I know how to ground in myself now. Okay, cool. But up like from a young child up, right? And people never knew.
Yeah.
And like friends, like when I finally
functioning depression.
Yeah. So like I finally, I guess, revealed that about myself around the time that this is gonna be the second time this man comes up in our podcast. I don't know if he's made the cut, but like Robin Williams. So when Robin Williams died by suicide, and everybody was so shocked.
Right.
Because of his presentation. Like I remember making a Facebook post because everybody was like, check on your friends. Or no, reach out if you need help. Reach out if you need help. And I was like, that's not real. Like as a person that is eldest daughter, bomb ass friend, like I am all things to all people. It doesn't always feel like at the time, right? Different now. But like at the time I was like, it doesn't always feel like I can reach out because I don't know how.
Right.
It's so heavy. I can't even see where the fuck is out.
Yeah.
Right.
And so many friends were like, I had no idea. You just seem so happy. Right. I remember one of my closest friends' moms reached out to me and was like, well, you could talk about this at like my church. Cause I don't think she was like, I had no clue. And she grew up with me. Right. Like they lived a block over. I was always at their house. And people just had no idea how bad it was. Like I remember as an adult I have recounted my suicide attempts to my mother. And my mom is like, wow. And it's not because my mom knew I was depressed. She didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and like she kept trying to be like, do you want to go to therapy? And I was like, yo, this was the 90s. Like,
right.
It was the 90s.
It was. And I was just like, no, I don't want to do that. Cause like, also I feel like when you otherwise use therapy as a weapon, don't then try to turn around and make it a tool. Like that doesn't work for me.
Oh man.
Yeah. And so like, I didn't perceive it that way. And so it was just one of those things where I learned really early on, not to make people worry about you.
Yeah.
But also, like, don't show your hand. Right? So, like, it's not safe to say, I'm sad all the time.
Yeah.
Because you might get what you got to be sad about?
Right. If you're too young to be sad.
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with you.
Right. And I was like,
bills is paid.
And I'm going to say this because I also know my mom listens. My mom is one of our top supporters, okay? My mom will be really out here debriefing with me like she remembers shit. I'm like, Mama, I just talked about that on the podcast. You don't remember that. Your memory sucks. But I will say, my mom never approached me like that in the like, what you got to be mad about? Like, my mom is a Pisces, very watery, just is all feelings all the time, right? And so she's just very concerned about a little too concerned sometimes, about my feelings or just like feelings as a concept. But like other people, right? Like I remember recounting recently to my sibling a story about a lady that we grew up with, your god sister's mother, who was effectively like a married-in aunt to me.
Yeah.
Like from the age of 3, I remember this woman criticizing me.
Oh.
Yeah.
This
Not
is
surprised.
That's
Yeah. And so like all the way up and like all the things that I've been called, right? And I don't think like, I know she loves me and I know she doesn't like, she didn't mean any harm, but harm was done.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, well, you can't tell people how you really feel.
Yeah.
And you can't like, these are all the ways in which, because then you're going to get slapped with all these labels that honestly are just not appropriate to the situation. I just don't fit what you want me to fit right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't want to share this popsicle because germs. Because also, I've been a germaphobe my whole life.
Right.
I don't want to share this popsicle with your kid
but now
because of germs. Like, I think we could go and get a knife and cut this apart. And you telling me, oh, don't you know cold kills all bacteria? No, bitch, I'm 7. I don't know that.
Right.
Like, also, that's not true.
It doesn't.
And so you're a liar. And then I get called selfish. And so then I spend the rest of my life
thinking you're selfish.
Trying to go out of my way to not seem selfish. From like being so selfless that I am like denying myself my own boundaries.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, and you said that shit when I'm 7. Right. And so it's one of those things. And so as I have grown, I feel like I'm rambling, but as I have grown older, certain masks just kind of fall off. Right.
Yeah.
Like the older I get, the more bereft of fucks I give. I'm bereft of fucks. I have none. And it's crazy how you get older, you be like, oh my God, I still had a fuck left. Well, let's get rid of that. Like,
right. Let's do
hiding in that corner. Bitch, come on out of there. Like,
come on out of there.
And so for me, who is pushing 40, like I'm in my 40th year of life. Haven't crossed the line yet, but we are there.
Right.
And my last kind of bastion was like work, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to show up. I can be vulnerable with my friends. I can say I'm sad. I can say I'm not okay. You know, like my self-identity is actually pretty fucking strong. Like, you know, but imposter syndrome, which is really just internalized white supremacy.
For Black people. Yeah.
Right.
And, well, even for not Black people, like, because when you think about like white women who experience it, like it's also like patriarchy, right? So it's systems and shit, right? Like you're internalizing these messages that, oh my God, you might not think I'm enough. Am I not enough? Like,
right.
And so I was still moving in work environments, like knowing that I'm full well fucking competent.
Right.
But just because I may not say it like you, or just because we have different priorities.
Right.
Because that, I will very much acknowledge, that is my truth. I prioritize people over everything. And I will not apologize for that.
Right.
Same.
Like, I won't adjust for that. I don't give a shit about your bottom line. Like, that's not true. Your bottom line doesn't trump people, though.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
We're going to make it work, but it needs to work for the people first.
Right.
And then for the purse.
And I think this is why, bringing in current event, why I have such an issue with conservative initiatives to address American problems that they consider to be problems, because conservatives, historically speaking, have chosen the worst kind of methodology in every sense.
Because they're capitalists.
Ban abortion, deport immigrants. It's like,
what about the people?
These are not just people, but like you said, these are people.
Yep.
Not only that, this is a very impractical approach.
Yeah.
Because the other ways are actually cheaper.
Yep.
If you actually cared about the fucking bottom line,
absolutely,
it's an actually cheaper way to do it that also honors the humanity of the people that is involved.
But the thing is they don't acknowledge the humanity of the people involved. It's very much us versus them, right? Like when you dehumanize people, you no longer are responsible for caring for them.
Right. And so capitalism actually becomes more expensive.
Absolutely.
Like,
which is so interesting. You know, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox. I have a whole soapbox about prevention and like social programming, and it's not just a soapbox, but I've like worked in these realms for years. They are so much cheaper, but it's one of those things. And so because when you are working in spaces with people who lead from a space of capitalism, white supremacy, those types of things, they value other things,
right?
And then you become the fluffy person, and I'm like, bitch, I'm anything but. Let me be clear. Like that was my horrible about my oppression. But I am anything, let me be clear, but like a soft ass, fluffy ass bitch. I am a loving, like love is my top, right? Like if we not doing it with love, don't do it.
Yeah.
And that's with everything.
And love is smart. Let's just
bro.
Love is intelligent. Like
truly.
It is.
And here's the thing. It's a less valued intelligence when your dollar is the most valued thing to you.
Absolutely.
Because love gets in the way of your dollar.
It does.
Love can get in the way of your dollar.
Yep.
Love can, yes.
It also can get in the way of your fucking ego.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
And that, I think,
love is a barrier to unbridled power and wealth.
correct.
And that is inconvenient for a large
Or
group.
your whatever your definition of success is, right? And so
Power
like
and
if you
wealth.
want to be power, right? And so like if you want to be the top, you want to be da-da-da, which is crazy to me, the people that work in nonprofit spaces who are struggling to be the top nonprofit bitch, just hello.
That's not supposed
Right.
to be the point of this.
Right, but
That's
nonprofit industrial complex. And so it's one of those things where it's just like I didn't feel like I could be myself in these places and still be seen as intelligent if I cared. But I couldn't turn off caring.
Yep.
Right.
Like I can't, it's not like a choice. It is not a choice for me.
Right.
It's
And so what ended up happening is my body fought back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only did I struggle with depression the majority of my life up until over 10 years ago, anxiety
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
followed me, has recently stopped following me
Bless God.
in what, the last, maybe like last 8 or 9 months. And like 2023, I spent the entire year in and out of treatment centers,
Yeah, you did.
hospitals, the end of 2022,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. I was just telling this to Jess, who
Wow.
gets mentioned all the time because
Yeah.
she is like my other best friend, who is like Christian and I's mutual good friend.
Yeah.
Hey Jess, hey girl. But I was just telling Jess, we did a road trip for our because we were 2 days apart in birthday. So
Yep.
same year, same month, 2 days apart. So we celebrate like twins. And Christian normally comes in like the little sister, but now Christian got a kid
Yeah.
and
I
a
love my
family.
kid.
I blame
I'm a-
you, Christopher.
Well,
I mean, we
you gotta
should.
blame me.
You've ruined all my fun.
Wow.
You're the fun ruiner,
That is
but we love you so much.
very antithetical to my person, but okay.
Which I have to know that I was also pointing aggressively.
right.
Chris is
Just kidding. Love
Chris
you.
is,
Love you like.
Chris is the least likely person to ruin the fun.
That's true.
But did he help?
Like, but you have to say that you want to have fun. To
But
know
did
that
he-
fun, and I can accommodate.
No, you've made her a mom,
Oh.
Yeah.
so it's over.
We'll
We'll
get
resume later.
we'll get into why that is a thing. It's technically
right.
not Chris's fault.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not Chris's fault.
It's my fault, but it is because we have a kid.
Yes.
So it's like,
It's like, yeah.
Collectively, you two people have made decisions that have ruined my good day.
Wow.
Why am I even here? And I'm just kidding.
So happy to oblige.
But so in 2022, Jessica and I normally like we would do international trips. Jessica doesn't
yep.
live in the same state as us, so we meet up wherever in the world and we like have a good time. We've got tons of pictures. It's
yes,
amazing.
we do.
We've had a ball.
We've had some really good times.
Yeah.
And they've had some good times since my,
Motherhood.
descent into motherhood.
Right. Going to Bali.
But so we went and we did a trip to Sedona that changed my life. This when I
I
tracked
wanted
like
to go to Sedona when I was in Phoenix, and I hadn't.
you should have. It's only like what, an hour away.
Yeah, they weren't with it. I was
It
with
was a company trip.
with the seminary.
Oh,
So
yeah. No, that wasn't.
that was-
They weren't there.
yeah.
But it was a trip.
Ooh.
What about the trip?
Yeah, and so like it was a life-changing trip. I got to scream into a vortex, and I literally looked at Jess, and I was like, "Girl, I think I shook something loose." Turns out that was the moment I got set on the trajectory I am on now. But 2 months after that, 3 days before Christmas, I'm at the doctor because I feel like I'm dying,
Yeah.
and then I have to go to the ER because the doctor told me to.
Yeah.
Turns out I was not dying acutely, like in that moment.
Mm.
Right.
But my cardiologist, I have a whole team of specialists to this day because of all of the stress that my body was under and all of the things that was happening in my body. My cardiologist looked at me because I was like, my heart is like my heart doesn't work. And she's like, we've run the test. And I kept running them. Then she was like, your heart is actually functioning fine. The problem is like, it's like your body is trying to go from here to El Paso on zero.
Oh.
Like you don't have enough gas in your tank for a variety of medical reasons. And which some of them are chronic, but exacerbated because of how much stress I was under
Yeah.
Right.
to the sheer amount of anxiety. So between work, between my personal life, like everything was just, and so like literally in the last day of 2022, I made one decision that changed a lot. And then I like kept in this job. And I remember August of 2023, I had planned to leave that job.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
And I was planning to figure out how
I was so excited. I was so excited you were leaving because you seemed like you were just shriveling.
I hated it. But like I didn't hate it. It was one of those like I loved my coworkers. One of whom also a top fan. Hey, Mel. I know she's going to hear it.
Hello, Mel.
Mel. But like, I worked with amazing people.
Yeah.
We did amazing work. We had horrible leadership.
Yeah.
To the point. And when I started, I had great leadership.
Yeah. And then it shifted.
And then my leader left.
Yeah.
And left the wrong one with us. And I hope
Right.
she listened and heard me say that shit. Because that's what everybody thinks. We talked about you.
Wow.
Nah, let me not. We can cut that. We don't have to cut that out. She ain't gonna listen. But and like in honesty, I think it's also she comes with her own lens and her own shit, right? And so it was horrible. And then I realized, oh, this is why the people that have been reporting to you have been stressed and look terrible because like you're not good at this and your expectations are
Unreasonable.
outrageous. And I had the moment where the cognitive dissonance started to like harmonize. And I was like, bitch, it's not you.
Right.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit. And so I planned to leave in August of 2023. We ended up getting a new C-suite person because I was director level. And so we ended up getting a new C-suite person that I was hopeful about. And so I was like, okay, let me give it some more time.
Wow.
And then I gave up hope.
Immediately.
Because
Not many days.
one is the devil you know, but that devil is direct. The other is the devil you don't know because that devil throws rocks and hides hands.
Hides hands, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't believe in that. I ain't never hit a hand a day in my life. I'm going to throw the rock and I'm going to wave. It's very much my style.
Oh, yeah.
Twas me.
Yeah, bitch, I threw it.
Twas me.
Come talk about it.
Deal with it.
Like, I was trying to get your attention. Come here. Right? Like, that's, yeah. And so I don't fuck with that. But it got to the point where we did some restructuring. And at the end of 2023, like, they were changing all of the director level positions.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were like, well, I envision you in this position. I was like, you literally took my favorite part of my job away and gave me the part that I hate the most.
Right.
I'm not doing it. So when we got back in 2024, I was like, I'm not going to transition into this role. Mine is being eliminated, so I'm just going to go when it's eliminated, right?
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be August of 2024. Could make it.
Oh, man.
It got so in my face, and I've talked about this before on the podcast, like it got so in my face, not only with my health, like my health was
struggling.
Declining.
I was
declining.
Scared. I was scared. I wasn't living in it. I was scared.
Yeah. And so, and at the time, who I was living with was like scared and wasn't telling me. And then I like started to know, that's like, what's going on? They were like, I am afraid you're going to collapse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm afraid I'm going to walk in here and find you
laying on
the floor. And I was like, I couldn't say nothing because that wasn't improbable.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Right.
Like
inside.
Yeah.
It was time.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Like I couldn't dispute it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And it was just like you know what, I remember there was an event that happened and the stress had hit a peak.
Yeah.
And I remember I called my mother, which I'm hyper independent. That is not a thing I do. I call my mom to check on her. Like we talk, right? But I don't call my mom for advice.
Yeah.
Or call my mom. I don't, maybe advice, depending on what it is, but like not for reassurance.
Yeah.
For comfort,
right.
Yeah, but not for reassurance. Like not for you're making the right decision.
Yeah.
Because we have very different decision-making processes.
Sure.
We do.
And we function from different places, both valid.
Yep.
And I remember after getting off the phone and hashing out the situation, I called my mama. That's how intense it was for me.
Yeah.
And I felt like God, all my guides were like, it's time. It's time. I called my mom who is like super rule follower, very like pragmatic, feet on the ground, which I don't understand any of that. I'm a floaty. Okay. I'm an air sign through and through. And so, but even my mom was like, hey, stop working today. She was like, stop. Don't do any more work for them people today.
Wow.
You need to go sit and pray. And I was like telling her all the things that I had been processing. And she was like, it sounds like your mind is made up. You need to do what you need to do. She was like, God got you. We gonna figure this out. Do what you need to do. Never have I ever heard these things from my mother. Like not in regards to like my livelihood.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she's scared, right? Like mom's I love you.
She's feeling.
I love you, Mom. But you tend to fear.
She's concerned.
Yes. My mom is very much a concerned parent. more so as an adult, which is crazy. But she is. My mom, like, is always, she's a mom.
Right.
She's a mom. And yeah. And then I left, and it's, the way my anxiety has, let me actually, I'm going to reframe that. The anxiety I was experiencing
Yeah.
has dissipated. Like, I can't even tell you the last time I was anxious,
Wow.
which is a new normal for Whitney. That's a big word for Elmo. But also my health
has improved quite a bit.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, quite
It's
a bit.
so manageable. And like, and when I say, oh, it's manageable, like I forget. I'd be like, oh shit, yeah, girl. Like you still got to do things, but like I feel alive.
Mm.
Yeah.
I feel aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And even though things don't look like masked Whitney who could do everything, Whitney who had it all figured out, Whitney who is a natural born leader, Whitney who can like this high performance Whitney.
Right. Performance Whitney.
I mean,
but that's accurate. But when you say it, it sounds ridiculous. But
right. But that's functioning at 100 all the time. Like
when you only
10 RPMs, all the time. I feel like 10 is high as
10,000 RPM.
Okay, because it's thousands. I just get the single digits, so I just be looking at the actual.
Right. It's all good.
Right. It's fine. I knew what you were saying.
You know what? Thank you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sister.
Yeah, we're gonna let you roll with it.
And I appreciate y'all.
But if you're a car nut out there, you happen to be listening to us. You know what she meant.
You know what the unit is.
You know what she meant. Keep going.
But buck up. Anyway, but going from that to like more of a sustainable pace and not feeling bad about it.
Dang.
I used to not sleep. Christian literally would call and be like, when was the last time you slept?
I did.
Christian, and I remember you telling me at some point, this is probably like around 2018, you were like, yeah, I just trust that like when you've been up for days like this, that your body eventually collapses and you get the rest that you need. And you may go down for a day or two, but your body will get the rest. And I just wait for that moment. And I was like, oh shit, Christian's concerned.
Yes,
yeah.
I was.
Because Christian doesn't always express her concern directly to you.
No. Me and my masking. I mean, your journey is so. I can imagine that this is going to be incredibly relatable for a lot of people. Not like your exact journey, but just the process of realizing how much you have been turning yourself inside out to prove something.
Yep.
Or to present yourself as something specific in order to feel valuable, validated,
worthy, loved,
worthy, all the things, right?
Worthy of the breath in my body.
And like it literally sucked you dry. Like an actual vampire just latched onto your neck, sucking you dry.
Absolutely.
And I mean on the verge of like, as your partner said, making you collapse.
Yeah.
Having you laid out. Or, back in 2018, were you in school in 2018?
I just started school.
Yeah. That was when I was one of the periods in which I was extremely worried. Yeah.
In grad school, taking an overload of courses, working 2 jobs, starting a new organization. Yes.
Yeah. I was baffled. I was so baffled.
And in a new relationship.
Oh, that.
We started dating
in 2018. Yep. The year we got married. I didn't realize that part.
Yeah, because it was new. Because when I brought her to your wedding.
I didn't remember it started then. That's what I'm saying. Like I know she was
a few months.
Yeah, she was at the wedding, but I didn't realize it had just started then.
Yeah.
But it's like the journeys that we go on as we're trying to project a certain type of person, right? Because of what one individual or society at large thinks we should be or look like. It is very rarely life-giving.
Yeah.
Very rarely. And more often than not, it makes us sad, anxious, depressed, burnout, which I have been to all of those places.
Yeah.
And
a couple times for me.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. And the thing that kind of struck me is, when you were talking about like what you feel like you're coming out of a lot of those masking tendencies and the freedom that you're feeling, the more that you do it, that's like hopeful, right? Because I don't feel like crying because that's not going to translate well over the mic.
Cry if you need to. Fuck the people. We here.
So we edit out. We have a good editor.
No, but fuck that. You're with us and this is real. I need to. It's a box of tissue right there.
It is hopeful. Right? Because, and I've talked about this, I don't know if I talked about it on a podcast or somewhere else, but there is a lot of me that like, I don't I don't even know who she is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not aware of what Christian wanted. So when you did that, I'm gonna call it a warm up, not the warm up, the Zen thing, the centering moment.
Yeah.
And you were
mindfulness moment. Yeah.
Yeah, when you were like, look in the mirror and see who you really are. And I'm like, girl, who the fuck is that? I don't know who's back there.
Yeah.
I have no idea. None.
Yeah.
None. And like, that is the idea that there is a pathway to come out of that, and like you can walk it and you can go through it and like find the other side and see who that person is.
Right.
You know, because when you started, I couldn't really picture anything. And then you said something about peeling something off. And I was like, I can imagine the thing that I have started to peel off.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of the requirements placed on me by the faith practice that I was in.
Yeah.
I have started to peel some of those off. And I do feel like more self-possessed. Right?
Yes.
But it still feels very like small. So initially when you say like the girl, like who's back there without all the stuff, and I was like, probably like an 8-year-old, because that's the last time I felt like most of me. You know, that was
Absolutely.
before my mom was worried about whether or not my clothes was too tight because my butt jiggled. That was before my dad worried about whether or not I was wearing skirts that was too short. Like, that was like the last time that I got to just be me.
Yeah.
And that there weren't all these, and I mean, there were still a bunch of religious requirements, but there weren't as many that I had to worry about.
Yeah.
Right.
You weren't being policed.
Right.
I was not being
As
actively
police.
and like, I was not being actively policed, or at least I wasn't aware of it.
Correct.
Right. That's the
Correct.
because I can't say that I wasn't.
No, that's
No.
fair. We were all being policed from a young
Yeah.
age.
We were.
I was just telling Sean.
Yeah. So that's that is hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
What you said is hopeful to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, there is an opportunity for this to not be like this.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So
What's interesting, and we can cut this out. I actually recently ran your numerology number.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means.
I know. We'll talk about it later.
Without her consent? Just kidding.
Well, I can add. You can run anybody's number if you got their whole birth.
I'm just kidding.
But I read it and I was like, this makes sense, but this ain't it yet. And I was like, and there's so many times, like I've over the course of time, because you're one of those people for me. Like, I know you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sighing because that's hard.
Yeah.
Like, I know you. And there are ways in which I know you that I wish you knew yourself.
You sound like him.
And that tracks. That very much tracks, right?
Right.
Like, I think back to, oh God, I think back to conversations of when we used to have when we were younger. And you would be like, I don't know. I'm not creative. And I'd be like, Christian, that's not true.
No, it's not true.
And you would be like, but how? And you're finally coming to it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I enjoy a specific type of creativity.
Yeah.
Which I didn't recognize back then.
Exactly.
Right.
But there's so many pieces. And I'm like, the thing is, and like sometimes there are moments where it pisses me off. Like, because I'm just very like, let it go. Like,
Right.
Elsa, let it go. Right? Like, turn it loose. But like you're so contained.
Yes.
Right? And you're so comfort focused.
Yeah.
That like the need to control everything that could make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Keeps you in this thing. And I'm just like, sometimes I just look at you and I'm like, she'll get it.
Yeah. And so
She'll get it.
That's the other part of it,
Yeah.
right? Like, masking, don't get me wrong. It is draining, but for me personally, there is a safety in it.
For most people.
Right? There is a comfort in it of, like, I am obviously I'm obviously, to the people in this room, I am straight presenting, like probably even more than you now with your style. But
well, and I got to get more nose rings. That's what I've learned. So
the nose ring,
guys,
you need
I need
to upgrade to the septum.
I'm gonna get a double on this nostril. I got to get more.
I saw a video of a lady who was like 65 or something, and she was finally getting her nose pierced. She'd wanted it for like 40 years, and she finally got it. And after she did it, she was like, I can't believe I waited so long to do this. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Like, she was so excited.
I love it.
Like, there was but there's a level of comfort in it. And so because I am a straight presenting person, like, I have to be intentional about like not letting people think that I am straight.
Yeah.
which can be scary.
Hell yeah.
I mean, especially in 2025. Like, but also I don't run around in the same Christian circles that I did when I was young. But like my parents are still in there. My sister's still in there to a degree.
Right.
You know, and so like they're my family is still there.
Yeah.
Right. And I am grateful that I am not under the impression that I am in a position where they're like gonna shun me or abandon me or treat me like garbage.
Right.
I never thought that. That they would abandon me or treat me like garbage. But I thought a lot of other things.
Yeah.
That made me pursue, like embrace the mask
Yeah.
aggressively.
Yes.
Right.
In favor of not tempting fate, of not rocking the boat. That was my favorite
man.
phrase.
God damn it was.
Not ready. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to rock the boat. I just want to be chill. And you know, I'm working on that with my therapist. I'm working on, but there's so much of it. And like sorting through it to go like, okay, yes, this is comfortable, but like I know this isn't me. And so, but I have to release some of it to realize that the comfort I'm feeling isn't, the word I wanted to say is real, but that's not the right word. The comfort that I am feeling is like in place of being self-possessed.
Yeah.
And that comfort is paired with like an emptiness. And it's like, that part ain't comfortable though.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, so I'm gonna have to, like, I'm slowly trying to trade the empty comfort for the self-possessed discomfort, which will eventually become a different type of like,
it'll be comfort
embodiment.
Right. It'll actually be comfort.
That will be real.
Yes.
Real comfort. So that's like the process that I'm working through with this. And like, yes, obviously like social media is I'll say this. I'm probably one of the most difficult to influence people on the planet.
We're like regarding certain things, I think.
Well, I mean,
certain ways.
No. So like, you know, if it's like, oh, you put on makeup, I need to put on makeup. You bought this, I need to buy this. No, that's not how I'm getting it.
Never.
You said this book was good. I'm about to go read that book.
Yes.
But other than, you know, you're right in certain ways. But like, I'm not always looking at other people and thinking I need to be like those people.
Yes.
My thing is more like, I want to be the person that you like. I want to be the person that you want around. I want to be the person that you're going to treat this way. And so if I see you treat other people badly for a thing or talk about them for a thing, if I feel or think what they also thought and felt and thought, I will not say that because I don't want you to treat me like you treat them. Right. So that's the difficulty when you're in online spaces and like aware of not only what people are doing, but how they're talking about other people.
Yeah.
It's just trying to like allow yourself to know who you are. I was watching this video just shared the other day. There's a guy who walks around in New York on a subway and he like interviews people with hot takes. And this guy's hot take was like, we should shut off the internet on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, she just said that.
Yeah, she did. She's like, we should shut off the internet
I
on
agree.
Sunday because we were never meant to have this much information 24/7. And I was like, you know what?
I agree.
I agree. We don't see.
I
don't want to see any more of these live streaming church shenanigans.
I don't think
that's not the only thing.
I know.
Go outside.
But that shit goes viral because they live streamed it and then they went to fucking.
They say stupid stuff.
Right.
That's what
it
he's
goes.
talking about.
Yeah, it goes viral.
Screenshot it
You don't either.
Shit.
He the one who has to tell me about it.
It's good. Every time you be saying shit, Christopher, that you be tired of seeing, but you keep engaging. So your algorithm don't never adjust.
No, and I need it, and I use it because of it comes through other content creators. So it's not like I get it. I get through people that content and their filter and stuff like that. So I need it for the type of space that I'm trying to be in. So it feeds that. It doesn't outrage me the way that it outrage y'all.
No.
But I still call it shenanigans.
Outrage
but I don't
is
emotionally
the strongest, most inaccurate word.
Yeah.
What it is, I don't give a single fuck. I don't care what anybody in a religious space is doing. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care he's spitting in somebody's face.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if they fighting on stage. I do not. Who won?
Yeah.
Were there cookies?
Yeah.
There are cookies. Chris brought cookies.
He did bring
Yeah.
cookies. They're in the kitchen. But
Yeah,
yeah.
all I'm saying,
Yeah, but there's
yes, shutting things off on Sunday would
it
be
would be
great.
nice.
It would be awesome.
Take a
And I
break.
was thinking it for the church in particular because
Oh,
we don't do shit well enough to be publicized.
I don't know who we is, but I hate that for y'all.
Yeah. That's what I meant. The Christians,
church, yeah.
the people of the church, that aspect of humanity that performs religion in a way that is inauthentic.
yeah. And so he basically he did it.
Still relevant to the topic.
Yeah.
Well, nobody says you was being irrelevant. Church is irrelevant to my life.
Yeah.
But he, the guy that was, with the hot take, he was talking
Yeah.
about, and the guy was like, the guy who was interviewing him, he was like, I 1,000% disagree. He was like, we were not built for this.
Mhm.
And he was like, we really just need a break. Like, you need to, pick up a book, talk to the people in your house, talk to the people outside,
Mhm.
Play a game, lay down and take a nap, do something, do anything.
Right.
Do anything else.
Yes.
And then he was talking about buying a DVD collection so you could just watch like a specific thing on a regular basis. And I was
Amen.
like,
Yeah.
I used to enjoy watching the same thing all the time. There were movies that I would watch 25 times with zero concerns.
Mhm.
And now it's like, oh, I need something new. But my point was I'm not sure why. Like, I know why. The internet and the socials are made to be addictive. That's why.
Yeah.
They are made.
Quite
They are
literally.
Right.
engineered for this.
Right, and it's not like you said.
You're a
It's not,
user
and it's
and
not the
product.
internet in particular, but
Yes.
social media in particular.
Yes.
Yes.
That needs to be shut off.
I mean,
No, shut the fucking internet off.
No, I don't interact with the internet in the same way that people interact with social media. For them, social media and internet is the same.
I don't think that's the only reason why it would need to be shut off. It's not about how you interact. It is the fact that you are interacting in a virtual environment.
Yeah, I don't.
You need
process
a
that the same.
day.
I don't get stress and comparison and envy by just being on the internet.
That doesn't mean your brain isn't impacted neurodivergent, man.
It does mean that.
what?
I get it. Like for me, it does.
We can argue this offline, but I will give you the neuroscience behind it. It does not mean that. When everything is quickly at your fingertips and you can pull things up all the time, that impacts how your neural pathways work.
Okay.
Yeah, it is not a zero sum.
Yeah.
There is an impact, and we have to be mindful of how impacts change us over time. Like even
Right.
I was talking to a friend of mine who also is very doubly neurodivergent. And the conversation we were having was, are we neurodivergent or has our world just changed in such a way that human brains struggle to keep up with? And so now we look divergent because now it's in mass, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
even neurotypicals are having neurodivergent symptoms, right? They may not have
Right.
enough to be diagnosable.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's a.
It's like
Let's think about it, right?
It's our
let's
species
think about this, right?
equivalent of shrooms advancing our mental development in evolution.
But I mean, let's think about it, right? Social media, like we started here, is created with the intent of making you engage chronically.
Yes.
Right. That's why
Right,
infinite
chronically on.
scroll, the videos that automatically play, like
to keep you on longer.
feeding you things that they know
Right.
you enjoy. Even the games, right? Continuous loop games that don't have like concrete set. So I'm playing a game right now and I've realized that and I'm about to delete it. I enjoy it, but there's no end, right? There's no like, so you were playing like a Tetrisy type game. It's like, oh, you finished the quest and the game, that session ends.
Right,
The game is
Yeah.
continuous play. You can play on and on forever. You just do the exact same thing, right? Those things we are aware that those things are created to keep us engaged all the time as much as humanly possible. I don't think we put a lot of, because the internet is so vast, we don't think about the fact that there is a vested interest by lots of people in us being on it as much as possible, even outside of social media.
Literally.
Right.
Yeah.
So you think about, some people are like, oh yeah, shopping. Well, yes, shopping, but even the sites that you're using for research, they get more money the more you go on there, right? The more you utilize these things,
They're tracking your behavior.
They're tracking your
they can
behavior.
better cater to your attention.
right? And so when we think about how marketing is using our desire for knowledge, our desire for connection, our desire to be something specific to feed us more of that, right? That also contributes to masking. because they're trying to feed you things to become the type of person you think you have to be, right? This idea that, especially this American idea that we always have to be improving ourselves, we always have to be getting better, that we always have to be working, that you can't.
Better in terms of more efficient.
Yes.
More consumerism, not necessarily better as how I would define better.
No. That we need to constantly be on a self-improvement plan.
Correct.
Right.
That we need to be intentionally. What was that? You that sent me something? Where did I see that? It was something like people are not made to be constantly healing or something like that. I can't remember
And
where
we're
I
not.
saw that. I'm messing up the quote.
No,
it was,
yeah.
The point was that a lot of us are very fixated on trying to fix ourselves, trying to make ourselves the ideal.
Absolutely.
Whatever
that is.
Right. And it can be very difficult for us to detach our self-worth and our identity from a lot of those things. So recently, Target was one of the companies that rolled back its DEI initiatives. Now, let me preface this. I am aware that Target was doing some questionable shit before this, okay? I know that. I genuinely forgot about it until recently. Because when it happened the first time, I want to say Sid was like a baby. And I was like, y'all, I just need somebody to give me some more bottles. I don't care who the fuck it is. I need some more bottles, and I'm not going to goddamn Walmart. I've always felt the way about Walmart. But Target, I'm going to give them a pass. And so now,
better lighting.
I mean, they have better everything.
It's a better shopping experience.
It was, for me personally, it was a better shopping experience, and the extra expense I feel like was worth it.
And it's not that much extra.
Have
you price compared Walmart to Target? I have. It's pennies. It's literally pennies on every item.
Yeah. So
they're not that
when they
much.
did it,
It's worth it.
know,
this is not in defense of Target because we're in a different place in time now.
We are in different places.
Right.
So when it happened, and I felt weird about it, but then I was like, no, this was intentional. Target is part of my identity. Right?
You're a Target shopper.
I am a
Are you a Walmart girl or a Target girl?
It was a thing.
Absolutely.
Like it's just like iPhone and Samsung. They pit consumers against each other and make you feel loyal to a store, to a brand, because that is part of the construction of your
identity,
right? And when I was like, oh man, like I buy most of Sid's this, that, and the other from Target. Where am I going to go now? Because I was like, I can't be a Target shopper no more. And then it was like, do you need to shop? Like all these other things started. started.
Yes,
all these other things started opening up when there was like a chink to the mask that I had put up. Like it was a link that I had to other people. Oh, you shop at Target? You shop at Target. Now, look, HEB, do not fuck around.
Sit down.
Shut the fuck up. Just shut up.
We need you.
Okay?
Act right.
Somebody asked me online, has HEB said anything? And I'm like, no, and I hope to God they do.
Like, look.
And then I looked it up, and they have a diversity thing, but it was never part of DEI.
No.
They don't have to, like, they're not addressing it because it was never part of whatever that.
They're also based in San Antonio.
Yeah. So it was never part of that big
very diverse
initiative.
community.
Right. So, like you said, but if HEB does fuck up, I guess we'll just buy in bulk at Costco. They have said
they have.
Costco and Kroger have doubled down.
Yeah,
so, they have. But also keep in mind that
there are
like buying in bulk is an access thing.
It is. It absolutely is.
It is.
So you know when you have the privilege to do that,
there was so many things that started running through my mind. Like the mask. It's not one of the masks that feels draining. It is the one that makes me feel comfortable and separate, which is like I am a middle class shopper. Right? I'm a middle class person. And so one of the things that I started thinking about after this whole Target situation, and it wasn't just Target, there was lots of others, but Target was the ones that made me feel.
Discount Tire is the one that's really fucking me up, and I don't even know how to contend with that. That's what my warranty.
They rolled back.
They supported Trump's campaign.
They supported Trump
large amount,
and so we're gonna have to figure that one out. I saw it. I was like, I'm glad we already got it.
It's not getting figured out until my warranties expire.
I mean, we already spent that money.
Well, because here's the thing: it's access, right? Like,
yeah.
So
And at this point, we
basically,
watching dollar.
right. So basically, we're at the point to where we have to buy our tires online and then have them shipped to
From where?
a store. I forgot
There's a shop. Oh, you can buy them on eBay too, right?
Yeah, buy on eBay. There's like
And you
Tire
can ship
Direct
them
or
to
something
a
like that, and you can
specific
ship it to.
person.
I had that happen to me.
Got you.
I've done that.
That's what they
where
had to
I
do
shipped
at
to like
discount.
Goodyear Tire or something like
Good
that.
tip, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
Y'all heard?
Are they gonna?
Worker.
Am I gonna pay $20 for if something happened to this motherfucker within a certain amount of miles? They gonna give me a new
Now
one?
look,
I mean,
Because that's
That's
really
the discount.
living where we live.
right?
that's the discount. What?
Yeah, I mean
Houston
that
don't
they may.
Up
I
with
mean,
they streets, damn it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think
We have to figure that
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
We're gonna do that off.
But like,
But the
like Tire Direct would have the
right?
warranty. Yeah, and the manufacturers do carry their own warranties.
Some-
yeah, but it's not. But like, it's not
Yeah.
the same as
not the
like
same
a
type.
discount tire.
Gotcha.
discount tires is
Yeah.
you were driving on 59 and you got a nail in your tire. You come in, we'll pull it out and we'll
Gotcha.
patch it. Oh,
Or it will replace it if it cannot be patched
within a
Right.
certain amount of time, right?
and mileage, right? But it's high.
It is.
And I know this as a former high mileage volume
driver,
yeah.
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 So, I mean, we know too.
Fair.
We know too.
Well, shit, because Chris working butt fuck, so.
Yeah.
You know,
And I
Fuck
used to drive
Texas.
so much when
I go to I go to NASA town, and I don't do shit with NASA. while I'm
Yeah,
there.
but he got to drive all the way out
Every
there. We
day.
live on the opposite. If you don't know nothing about
A
Houston,
strong
it's
diagonal.
big.
Mhm.
Okay, Houston is fucking huge. And
Sprawling.
We live in one
Yeah.
suburb, and he has to drive literally across the city,
To Webster, Texas.
45 minutes with no traffic.
No traffic.
That's none
On the
Zero-
freeway.
Zero
On the
traffic.
freeway.
on 40 on the worst interstate highway.
Worst freeway we
That don't even go between states.
Anyway,
It
we
stops
get
in
distracted.
Dallas.
Yeah,
We
it
get
does. I thought it goes to Oklahoma.
No, it
Oh,
turns to
shit.
75 in
Oh, I
Dallas.
didn't know that.
Them
Mhm.
niggas.
I never been past.
And then you
Dallas.
take that up to Denton, and then Denton goes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It does not. 45 goes from Galveston to Dallas.
I did not know that.
Uh-huh.
How did they get it called an interstate?
Federally funded.
How did they get it called an interstate though?
It's federally funded.
Oh, so they named it interstate because federally
Because it was funded through interstate funds. It's federally funded.
State commerce.
Interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Or,
So
you know,
Fun facts.
you're right.
we were
So
talking
yeah.
about.
So yeah. So and I got people that's coming from like Tomball and Humboldt, and I was like,
Oh, not so
okay,
bad.
this makes me feel less bad, but also like more bad for you that you have. To
It's like
Tomball, you should feel
Like,
bad. Almost
yeah.
not so bad. They can hit 59.
Yeah, I know 59 is great.
it depends on what time you're going.
But
Either.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, y'all
bad-
live off
it's
59. I'm
always better than
But
45.
the
Always.
lady I
Always
talked
better
to,
than
she's like, I had to sit in my car for a couple of minutes because like the drive was so like it,
Oh,
I was
absolutely.
like this.
Anxiety and
That's driving.
This
in
is what you
Houston.
wanted for niggas to come back to the office to have this happen, and now they're less protected. You know,
And you don't want to pay them more. Gas is going up. Wear and tear on your vehicle.
and
The
and,
cost
and
of
now we
repairs.
can't go to this, and now we
Right.
got to figure out what the hell do with discount.
And you won't fix the fucking road.
And you won't. Or well, you stay fixing them, but then you're never done.
You know they done fucked up 1960.
What we talk? Oh, but there's a
Not a rant.
we went on such a
Fuck Houston. Fuck your roads. Your highways suck. Your mom's ugly.
yeah,
Trump is an ass.
that
Sorry.
is no news to no one. Well,
That was
If you
included.
disagree, you can tune out.
you can
Or
you
tune in. We don't care.
we really don't.
Bereft of fuck.
But the identity that I had shared, like that I embodied, once I started to like realize that I was over identifying with this place,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, there's a lot of things that I consider. So when we were talking about Costco and like access, one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about is, you know, the boycotts back in the 60s, obviously, and how it's
Right.
not, you know, it's not feasible and people aren't willing to give up stuff and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I would like to talk less about like boycotts. honestly.
Amen.
What are we going to do?
Correct. What's the plan?
What are we going to
Dan?
do? Where are we going to go? How are we going to do it? And, you know,
Mhm.
I started, one of the things that I really started thinking about was like collaboration and sharing and like being more intentional about what it is we're buying,
Mhm.
when we're getting it. And if we do that, then we can collaborate with more people
Correct.
to make things more accessible.
Mhm.
Right. And this is just, I'm just going to use myself as an example. Right.
Mhm.
And so
Example.
it's a sample.
Mhm.
Myself and my family. So my aunt lives not far from us, but she had never been to Costco. And so one day my mom just happened to call her when she was on her way. And she was like, I've never been to Costco. She was like, you want to come? And my aunt was like,
Mhm.
yeah, I come. And, you know, it's two people in her house. She doesn't need
Right.
any of
So you need a pallet of
plus
toilet paper.
size whatever.
You might need a pallet.
Now the toilet paper is the one thing I can buy a pallet
and
of.
water.
I can store that in the back of the garage, okay?
Alright.
Toilet paper, water.
Unless you're getting rid of your ass anytime soon.
I mean, we do want to get a bidet, but still.
And you know I love a bidet.
I
but
know you love a
You
bidet.
still got to pat dry. I mean, you could use a towel, but it's easy. It takes less toilet paper.
It takes less toilet paper.
Mm.
The point was
Stretch
like
it out.
my mom might go to Costco like twice a month, right? Now, people who know my mama know that my mama basically has a convenience store at the front.
Yeah.
She does.
And always has.
Shoes.
Lance
Nah.
snacks just
Always has.
Lance, if Lance come up on the D, I don't know what my mama gonna do because her and them crap.
Switch to Austin's.
Yeah, probably.
basically.
As long as they carry them at Costco.
I preached them, Brandon. I explicitly thanked them because my mother-in-law's freezer stays stocked.
Stay
with
stocked.
theirs. Thank
Now-
you. So I
Now, Bluebell did contribute to the Trump campaign.
They
Oh,
did,
for
and she needs to know
goodness.
that.
I literally sent Jessica a test last night because that's one. Jessica has like her H-Town thing because Jessica doesn't live here. So it'll be like when she come, I gotta get Shipley's and I gotta get Bluebell. So I was like, girl, Bluebell done donated. What you finna? I was like, no, adjust your Texas cravings accordingly.
Right. Yeah, we'll
Right.
find something else.
I
you
say-
want.
She was like, I guess it's
You
just
might
me
as
and
well
Ben and Jerry's.
hop next door to Vermont and get you some Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
Well, she gets
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
let's
I mean,
say.
Jim
Yeah,
and Jerry's,
yeah.
They ship everywhere,
yeah,
they
they're
ship
a global
everywhere.
brand. Not global.
but they don't got
Yeah.
that buttered pecan.
They don't.
They don't got none of the grandma flavors.
They do not have butter.
They don't got no simple.
Somebody else,
They were like,
you know what?
some part of
HEB
it's
does
like, I'm
have a
gonna figure out how
butter
to make my
pecan,
own
and it is
fucking
good.
ice cream.
That's good. I love that y'all can eat ice cream. This is great.
This is for Jess. Jess, HEB does have a butter pecan.
Just don't live in
Creamy
HEB
Creations.
territory. No, Creations is solid though.
That's what I'm saying. So when you were talking about the things that she needs when she comes back.
Oh no, but I also bring them to her when I like.
Oh.
Well, you wasn't gonna bring if you don't bring Bluebell.
Only because she hasn't asked. But if she asked, I just get some dry ice and figure it out.
Yeah, but some put any dry ass in your carry on and be good.
Exactly. That's what I would do. She hasn't asked for that. She's asked for Shipley's, and so I definitely squished up some Shipley's donuts.
Donuts in your carry on.
I am to California last year, and Mama was eating them on the beach. Okay,
I saw that. That's
she had a stuffed brulee croissant from the only vegan, like one of the few vegan ice cream places like in the country. And I'm over here enjoying this shit. It was one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth. Jessica is eating
the Shipley's donut.
cold.
Not cold,
squish.
Jess.
Well, I think she might have heated it before we left. It was in the
got to
refrigerator.
heat it.
But either way, it had to drive to the beach and eat these donuts on the
To
beach.
drive, you got to wrap it in a slightly damp.
It was in the box
Oh no,
and it was squished because it got squished on the
that
flat.
baby was desperate.
And no, but the joy,
Nostalgia.
posted it.
You did the nostalgia.
joy on her face.
She doing a happy.
Talking about, she literally talking about, she brought the Hennessy. Waving this. I have never, every time Jessica eats a Shipley's donut, the just sheer
angel gets
elation
wings.
that comes across her face. What's crazy is Haley brought home, my sibling brought home donuts the other day. I don't eat donuts. I don't really fuck with donuts. This is a tangent. I don't like donuts that much. Like they all right, but like I don't have to do it ever again in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why. Oh, I had a hard ass day. It wasn't even hard. It was a long day. I had been peopling. I only play an extrovert on TV. Okay. I am an ambivert at best.
Right.
At best. And so by the time I came home, I had like this training. By the time I came home, I was like, I don't want to talk to another soul. And I think I had to talk to Haley for a little bit. This is a lie. This is not when this happened. Them donuts was gone by then. I went out. I got high. I came home. I had a
donut. There you go.
this was the weekend. This was past weekend. And I ate this Shipley's donut. And I said, oh my God. The problem was I hadn't had a non-vegan donut. Because here's the thing. Vegan donuts taste like all the other donuts of the world.
Except Shipley's.
That's what I meant by other.
Yeah, that's what
They just
I
vegan
got where you're
donuts
going.
taste good because they taste like what donuts to the rest of the world
Tastes like
taste like.
Mm-hmm.
Shipley's
But
is.
Shipley don't taste like that.
It doesn't.
And I said, oh
All
my.
right.
Me, I was sitting in my bed
The first time.
floating and I was like, this is what Jessica was eating.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the
Oh, I get
conversation
it.
I have with people who love Krispy Kreme. I'm like, they're
That
not
shit is
bad
no,
donuts.
It's not.
Okay.
What's
Not
the reason?
No. Here's the thing. I don't think they're bad donuts.
They're my least favorite donut, to be honest.
I don't think they're good. I don't think they're bad.
I don't think they're bad. They're edible.
I don't think they're bad donuts, right? In my personal opinion, they are a step above like getting a donut.
Like a powdered donut from the grocery store.
I was not gonna say powder, but a donut from the grocery store.
Yeah.
I was gonna say grocery store,
But
they're
that's where you get Krispy Kreme at.
They had their own. They had their own stores.
They do, but
They
they're
do.
in more convenience stores. In our area, they're in more convenience stores than they have
grocery
their
stores.
own standalone.
yeah. And so like if you get a non
Stood in
Krispy
line.
Kreme store
You
branded,
stood in line for a Krispy Kreme?
Because of the grand
It
opening.
was
Oh,
gotcha.
gotcha.
It was
Giving
like 5
away.
in the morning.
They were giving them away.
Yeah, it's free.
Free.
Yeah, and they give away a year supply of Krispy Kreme. Like I can get a
You
dozen.
keep that. I don't
I
ever
can
want
get
it.
a dozen a month.
But I mean, if you wanted,
It was. It was.
I could bring them to the office.
That's
or
a
something.
perk.
It's nice.
All right.
It's a
It
good
was.
perk.
It's nice.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, I don't.
I would only bring that if I hated you. Just know that. That's how you know how I feel about you. If I bring
Right.
Shipley's or if I bring Krispy Kreme.
I won't bring
Yeah,
Krispy
nah.
Kreme. It's either
Shipley
Shipley's
is where
or
it's
some
at.
small place. That's usually
Shipley
what
is
we're
the
doing.
barometer by
Daylight
which
Donuts.
Daylight.
Right.
Did you ever go to Daylight Donuts?
I don't know.
You went on this side of town.
I gotta
No,
take.
I
But
went
he
to-
got some other donuts. That
Yeah,
are
yeah.
pretty good from over here.
I frequently visit the local shops.
Yeah.
Over
The local
Shipley.
shops be doing it.
Yeah.
Local shops still taste like good donuts.
Good. Yeah. Good donut.
Sure.
Shipley's
I mean, it ain't.
has
Yeah, I
a
mean,
unique thing.
I grew up in
It's a fluff.
Cashman Garden, so they didn't have no Shipley over there.
Did
No,
they had one in Tidwell? They didn't have one in Cashman Garden.
they didn't go to Cashman Garden.
Man, we
Oh,
read.
sorry.
Man,
Yeah,
that went
local
on
joints.
Tidwell.
Well, local joints
Yeah.
that'll get you through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
them
'cause they
Asian.
was
Yeah,
good.
because like it was right next door to the church I would go to on Lockwood. It was right next door, and it was called Shit Snowflake Donut.
Oh, wait a minute.
There's a Shipley's over there off of Homestead. Where's the
Shipley's on
Right.
Tidwell. That's what I'm saying.
It's not Cashman Gardens.
You right.
That's the other part.
You're right.
That's the
It
other
is.
side.
It is.
I ain't never go down there.
Heard.
That's the other side. You're right. But it's weird. It's
Yeah.
wild to me
Right.
because, like,
We used to get them for church all the time. Like her
We-
mom,
Yeah.
donuts, kolaches.
we kept
Right.
that place in business.
Right. I don't.
Like literally, our cult single-handedly.
Because it was up the street. Like, if you got out of church, if you left Sunday school in time, you could walk to Shipley's and be back at church.
And I remember
Right.
the teenagers doing that.
They did.
That's how I learned. Like when my cousin lived with my granny, that's how I learned where Shipley's actually was. I just thought donuts magically appeared
Because they
as
did.
a child.
For
Because
us.
they did.
Right.
As far as
They would
people
just show up.
concerned,
I would come and Sister Phyllis would have them, and
we would eat them.
we would have that in
Right.
our little juice, and it was a good ass time.
It was, man, the days when donut holes was the snack.
Donut holes and kolache.
They're
Those
still
when we
the
got
same.
older, your mama started grabbing. She would grab us kolache.
Like, we got kolache.
We got kolache.
Sorry for the rest of y'all. But we
Sorry to this man.
y'all didn't know this
I
man.
remember somebody from Fort Worth. Was it Texas? They
didn't have it.
They didn't have it, and they was like, "What is a kolache?"
Oh,
It's
they didn't have
like-
kolaches.
But
It's
baby,
like,
y'all
you mean-
got on the street from fucking
Right.
well, not Waxahachie. Where's it's Texas.
And he said, "Oh, you mean a pig in a blanket?"
No.
No,
No. Those
That's
are
the
good
same.
too.
That's
But no.
they not the same.
Yeah, so,
No.
yeah. So,
Kolache's
We
true.
inject
I don't know if
cheese
Fort Worth feel
and
the same way
jalapenos
now,
and
but
thyme.
one dude from Fort Worth I met in college was like, "What is a kolache?"
Y'all don't have not nary a
and proceeded to
English person.
compare it to a pig and blanket. I was like, I don't know what that means.
You don't know what a pig in a blanket is?
I know what that means. They ain't a kolache.
No,
it's not
hell
kolache.
no.
So
Kolaches are fully enclosed.
right.
Well, and the bread is completely different.
It is completely
Oh yeah, the bread hit different.
Oh,
The bread hit
Oh.
different.
Y'all
A pig
ever
in a
go-
blanket is a sausage and a biscuit.
It
That's what
is basically
which
wrapped
is
up.
good.
Right.
But
It's good, but it's
like
not
in a
the same.
Hawaiian roll or with a wiener in a Hawaiian
And
roll.
you can go to what is the Check Stop? Check Stop in West Texas, which
Uh-huh.
West Texas is like between Waco and Hillsboro. So down 35, like Austin and Dallas, if you're going big cities.
uh-huh.
And you go there, it's open all the time. They always have a line, like, but they move you fast. They
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
it's literally like legit Polish kolaches, right?
Mm,
Or Czech kolaches, I
Sure.
assume, because it's the Czech Stop, Czech with a
Right.
CZ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Czech Republic, Czech
right.
Stop.
Gotcha.
Got you.
You can buy their kolache bread as rolls.
Oh
That's dope.
my God.
You have
Because
we'll have to take the show on the road, y'all.
I
'cause
haven't
we
had a
really-
kolache
we
in
really-
years
It's a sausage, same.
because it's always filled in sausage. And I was like,
outside of the fruit flavor, because y'all also can have a fruit flavor.
Yeah, I
kolache.
don't like
nobody
That's
don't
not the same.
fruity
I don't like that
kolache.
shit.
Like, that's
I
not
mean,
why.
I do. I like
That's
the
not-
pumpkin one.
I don't like shit
Yeah.
gushing out in my
Now,
mouth.
see, that's different.
Yeah.
Because that's leaning into savory.
No, it's a sweetened pumpkin.
It's still sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No, it's good. It's
I need
really
the
good.
texture. Yeah,
I mean, the texture is good. I like it.
it's also.
You know, I like the sensation
Or
of
is it
cream and
chunk?
jelly and shooting up.
Yeah.
It's a custardy.
So
And I don't like jelly filled things. So if it's
Mm.
goopy, I don't fuck with it. I don't like nothing goopy.
I
Um,
tried
but
it
it's
because
not.
you said it's,
It's
good.
good.
You said it's
I
good,
fucks
so
with
I
it
would
heavy.
try it.
I also will eat an apricot. I will give you an apricot.
I would try it
Yeah.
because you said it's good. But in my mind, kolaches need, like, if it's a kolache, for me, a kolache has a sausage in it.
That's one type of kolache, yes.
That for me,
Yeah, I hear you.
that's my conceptualization of kolaches.
Yes.
yeah, like I don't.
But if there was a
cold
roll,
coffee.
You said, oh, okay.
Yeah,
if there was a roll,
Have you had a nitro cold brew? Because that'll change your world.
nah, not yet.
Okay, now be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Because I once almost put myself in the hospital.
With the heart palpitations?
Yeah, I ended up at the doctor. I was
be
doing
careful
grad
with
school. Here's the thing: caffeine don't keep me awake. I just really like the
It
way it
doesn't.
tastes.
Right.
It don't do that to him either.
And so my business partner,
He'll be drinking coffee, falling asleep.
the same, because ADHD. This tends to be a thing. Either it like actually helps you or it does
Nothing.
absolutely nothing.
Absolutely not.
And so, no, my business partner at the time, I say at the time, we still are business partners, but we had just started our org. She was like, I'm going to get a nitro cold brew and add pumpkin. And I was like, so every day before class, sometimes I only went to class like twice a week, but then I would get it like earlier in the day. And I was drinking so much. And nitro has more caffeine.
Yeah.
And I was drinking so much.
Sounds like it when you say nitro.
It
Like,
does.
Yeah. And on top, I already told you about my anxiety journey.
right.
And I was in, that's the time I was in, just started grad school, started this organization, got 2 jobs.
It may not have been keeping you
panic
awake.
attacks in my sleep.
I bet you were.
It was bad. I mean, but that was also part of the stress. But so don't drink too many of them.
This is a
But
treat.
try, because it's full bodied in a way that a cold brew ain't.
Right.
So
Okay.
Yeah, Chris ain't much for cold
All right.
coffee.
Yeah.
cold brew.
I was introduced to it hot, and I have a sensation with it being hot. Like I could do cold tea because sweet tea, the South, and all of that.
because you're black. Yes.
But hot coffee is like that's how my mama introduced to me.
got you.
I love my mama.
Summertime, you and I, we are gonna go do a nitro cold brew.
Okay.
Just one.
But we're gonna wait till the summer because it don't.
It ain't gonna
with
get
you
right.
like
Yeah.
when it's hot, like do it right.
Yeah.
But like, I want you. I want to see your face
Okay.
when you try it, and you don't have to put on a mask for me. If you,
Right.
you can hate it, you can
Right. It's just like I don't know how I'm
spew it to the grass.
Yeah.
That's cool. Wait till we get outside though.
right.
Don't spit in people's establishment.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I feel like
Sydney
me and
be
Wiggy
so
have
mad
been
when she
talking
do
a
that.
lot.
We have.
And I wanted to give Chris a chance to share anything that you wanted, like about masking or unmasking
Yes.
that you have gleaned in your
in
life
my
experience.
short life.
Short little life.
Oh,
One of
short.
the things I know. Right? One of the things I did that kind of thought that I just been holding since y'all been kind of in conversation is that authenticity. In order for you to be and who you truly are and discover who you truly are, it costs you your idea of what you thought life was going to be.
Absolutely.
Like that's the real cost of it, because it's not just you uncovering your authentic self. It is also like realizing that you're not personally built for whatever you was trained to want.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so it is it's a grieving process.
Yeah.
When you have not reconciled who you truly are, like even my existence, like, when I was called to preach, when I was called to ministry, I had a very particular conceptualization of my trajectory and how that's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it. So everybody's gone this route. This is what we're supposed to do. And the things that but I also had a love of truth and a love of integrity and authenticity. And there was some shit that was just going on in church or how we preach the Bible. I was like, this is not connecting well with my real life.
Mm.
And instead of me, it's like, okay, I want to go deeper in not just let me back up. My initial understanding was like, okay, I just need to learn how to teach Bible.
Mm.
And I want to, because for me, learning and giving biblical literacy was important because I felt like a lot of people were not interpreting the Bible correctly. And then my calling evolved to, no, I actually want to help people understand God.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bible for me has been a very sacred tool in doing that.
Yeah.
But if I teach you Bible, all I'm just doing is just being a biblical scholar and showing you biblical facts and stuff like that. But it doesn't really help the Bible come alive for you in that it helps you to connect with the divine.
Yeah.
And I could or could not use the Bible. That opens me up to a whole realm of possibilities. I could use a quote from a philosopher. I could use, any sacred text, any quote from a sacred text that helps me resonate with, okay, yeah, this is the essence of God. This is the God that I've come to know. And I see that reflected in Buddhism. I see that reflected in in Islam. I see that reflected in Sikhism, and I see that reflected in the hallowed halls of the academic ivory towers when it comes to sociology, philosophy. I see patterns in history that help me see God's hand. So it's like a whole world is open to me in terms of doing that. But that costs me conceptualizing my call as just a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
And realizing that the Christian church will not welcome my way of talking and thinking about God. And so I chose me over that.
Wow.
And I chose me over trying to fit myself into prescribed modes just so I can feel some level of financial security to advance, which is like, hey, I could. I mean, I could tell the story however you need to tell it for you to understand it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just understand. I just don't want to just tell it that way, because I need you to be in line with the truth that's over there. Because the reason that we keep having these fights and these divisions is because we compartmentalize truth and think that we have it. And my goal is to help you understand that we do not corner the market on this.
Right.
And so if you could just cool your fucking jets and learn how to work with one another to achieve the ultimate human advancement goals, then that is my contribution to society.
Yeah, so it's like your authenticity is allowing other people to embrace their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it also allows for a bigger and richer experience for you too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really does, because it's like, it's just, I don't know.
You get to acknowledge like what you see, because I think that's that's part
of
Right.
validating. And
Right, yeah.
It's like
knowledge will say, okay, yeah, this is what I see, and this is exactly, and they're trying to get you to not see what you are seeing.
Right.
They trying
You
to
not
convince
see.
you don't see what you see.
Right. And so, and like, that was one of the things that really, that's one of the things that really got to me. Like when I was talking about that guy that was like, my pastor told me, I should vote for Trump and stuff like that, but I don't feel right. It's like, no, go with that.
Right.
What you are interpreting,
What you see is what you see.
Is what you see.
Yeah.
And don't let these don't outsource your agency
That part.
to motherfuckers to tell you that what you see ain't what it is.
And God
shit ain't
doesn't
gold.
require that of you.
God
will never ask that.
God's never asked.
God has direct connection to you.
Right. Exactly. And
Yeah.
so, but we get gaslit and have this psychological layering that's happening that makes us to alter our sense of understanding reality when we have the tools to make the best decisions for not just the advancement of ourselves, but the advancement of humanity in the whole. And so part of me and part of my draw towards the Bible is to understand that there is worth to the narratives to help us understand how we all relate to one another.
Absolutely.
And not in a supremacist kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is that. It's
that part.
That's the key, brother. That's the key.
That part. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, one of the, the whole point of this entire conversation, right, about being authentically ourselves and releasing the masks, the facades. Obviously, this is beneficial to us, as we discussed with me and Whitney. It's beneficial to the people around us because our show of freedom shows other people that freedom is an option.
Yeah,
and that you're not going to die. At least the things that you are afraid of happening are possible. However, the person that you get to become is worth it.
And necessary. And I think that's the most important part. And I know we have to close, and for me, it is imperative as we are entering what is shaping up to be a very perilous time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is of utmost importance that we all start moving towards our authenticity, because you are here for a reason.
Yeah.
You have some role to play in this timeline where we exist right now. And if you're playing somebody else, you're out of pocket. You're out of position.
Yeah.
So whatever your unique self is, you are always where you need to be. And you are here on purpose right now for a reason. And so being more of yourself allows us to actualize a reality that is more authentic and meets the needs of what we actually want to see. So it's time out for the bullshit.
Yeah.
It's time out for the masks. It's time out for, and what I'm saying is simple, but it's not easy.
No.
Right? Like it's very simple, but it's not easy. And be gracious on your journey with yourself. Please.
Be gracious.
Please go easy on yourselves. But know that it is of ultimate importance that you show up and not your representative right now.
And I mean, to your point, there's a post going around about how there's a post going around right now about someone's findings as they were in the process of boycotting. And one of the big things that she highlights is taking your time, doing, like, not feeling like you have to do everything right now, today.
Right.
That is overwhelming and unreasonable. If you are disconnected from yourself, if you have been putting on a show, like any part of you that you are aware of the show you're putting on, right? Because there's a lot of shows that we don't be realizing we putting on.
Absolutely.
We don't always realize when we're masking until we realize that other people don't have to think about the things that we put a lot of extra effort and thought into. But, you know, start with one. Just found a random ass
spoon
in the
We
sky.
have no idea how there's a spoon here.
Start with one thing, right? Start with one thing that you want to focus on. One aspect of your humanness, one aspect of who you are that you want to be more real about. And start there. And be so gracious with yourself. Whoever you have been portraying yourself to be for the last 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, 50 if you're older than us, and I could keep going. Whoever you have been portraying, whoever you have been presenting to the world, or even convincing yourself is the true you, whoever that is, they're not going to disappear overnight.
No.
And it would be weird if they did. Like,
no.
Very rarely are stories that flimsy that we can just take them off that quickly.
Right.
But like, give yourself time to shift your narrative. Seek out things that will help you shift that narrative slowly and gently. And like Whitney said, keep showing up.
Keep showing up. Stay open.
Right.
Stay open.
Stay open, because sometimes it's not the thing you think that actually will shift it.
Yes.
Stay open to seeing parts of yourself that you feel the need to reject. And when you feel resistance, go there.
Sit with it.
Address the puzzle that is you, one piece at a time.
That's it. Good job.
At a
I love
time.
that.
One piece
One
at
piece
a
at a
time.
time.
And there's a very good chance that we're going to keep having this conversation because there's so much, like,
I don't even think we got to all of our points.
we did not
might
go.
need to do a
We
1 and 2 on this.
We skipped a bit, and because we were telling some stories, which I think is so valuable.
Yeah, no, I think we should just probably do a part 2 to this episode.
So there's probably going to be more for this one, guys. So we appreciate your patience on that. That was not intentional, but you get a little extra.
Y'all done got a lot of
You
personal
might get a
stories.
7th episode, right?
Yeah,
And
a 7th.
Right?
They're bonus. And I mean, eventually there will be more than 6 or 7
We're
episodes in a
building.
season. But girl, we are taking our time, lovely people. So we want to thank you so much for joining us today. And we're going to continue this conversation about masks and authenticity and the socials and all the other things that tie into that when we come and talk to you next time. But we thank you for joining us. If you want to chat with us about anything in the comments, please do so. All of our social media things are in the doodad on whatever platform you're on.
And in the outro.
And they are in the outro.
Yep.
So we will see you soon. Peace, blessings, and grace.
Bye.
Holla.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Uproot Project podcast. We hope you found fresh perspective and continue to make space for real growth. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcast. You can follow us on social media at the Uproot Project Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, or visit us at www.theuprootpodcast.com for more content. To contact us, feel free to drop us a line at hello@theuprootpodcast.com. Until next time, keep living fully, learning openly, and loving deeply. We'll see you soon.